What's good, fight fans? This is Ash's Corner, and I seen an interview yesterday with Richardson Hitchins, and that is the man at the top. He said that he is basically needing to be on television. He needs to be more active. He needs bigger fights. He wants actually a title fight or a very big step up fight. He feels as though he has had neither, and I can agree. Honestly, none of the people on this thumbnail has had a big fight, you know. Um, but Richardson Hitchins feel as though he's ready to fight all the boogeymans, and he named the Brandon Lees and the Arnold Barbosas by name. He said in another interview that he is ready for the Matistas and the Gary Russells, the Antoine Gary Russells. He said that. And he feels as though he's on the same level as them in the upper echelon, as well as Shakur Stevenson is actually what he said. He's on that type of level and nobody gets to see him. The fact that he beat Menendez, the fight right after his last fight where he beat Malik Hawkins, because he beat Menendez and Menendez was on Tank versus Mario Barrios undercard and he wasn't, he feels some type of way about it. He's kind of talking about his management team being TMT, not believing in him, also in another video. But I'm going to talk about the two names I heard him call out yesterday, or it was the day before yesterday. And that is Brandon Lee and Arnold Barbosa Jr. Starting with Brandon Lee, he has good power. You know, just like I said, he really hasn't had a big fight either. He is ranked number 10 right now in the IBF. He's 25-0, 22 knockouts. Fought for 59 rounds total. He has an 88 knockout percentage. He's been pro for 5 years. He's 23 years old. 5'10 with a 71-inch reach, fighting out of Cali. Now, he hasn't even fought any undefeated fighters as of yet. But Brandon Lee is somebody that is on television. He's somebody that is ranked, and he is a step of fight, in my opinion, for Richardson Hitchins. And in my opinion, Brandon Lee will probably fight him before Arnold Barbosa. Arnold Barbosa has already expressed his frustrations and why he doesn't have a step of fight or a title fight as well. But next, Arnold Barbosa is ranked number 8 in the WBO, and he's ranked number 11 in the WBC. He's already expressed that he's over fighting guys that is not ranked, and that is Richardson Hitchins. He is not ranked at all, and that's why I'm saying he's probably over that type of fight, because he feels as though he's fought enough of them. And all three of these fighters has fought enough of fighters that's not ranked, enough of fighters that's not undefeated, or fighters that, you know, aren't any names at 140 pounds. Arnold Barbosa is 26-0 with 10 knockouts. He's fought for 150 rounds. His knockout percentage is 38.46%. He's been pro for 9 years. He's 30 years old with he's 5'9" with a 72-inch reach. And like I said, he's never fought anybody undefeated. He hasn't had a real serious step-up fight. Now, I made a video probably about a month back saying the fighters that you should know at 140. This is how the thumbnail looks. And it's 17 people on that list. You know, one of them does fight at 135, but I could have put somebody else in his place that was an undefeated fighter. I mean, in my opinion, all of these fighters at 140 is fire. And I know a lot of people don't know the fighters coming up, and Richardson Hitchins feels like he's one of those fighters that nobody knows, and he needs to be on camera. He needs to have more. He has to have more fights, you know, and be on those big undercards so he can get recognition. That's what he's talking about. That's what he's been talking about. And he actually says that he's ready to fight everybody. In my opinion, with all of these fighters at 140 that, you know, a lot of them don't have any losses and a lot of them haven't fought each other, it's about that time. And I'm kind of glad Richardson Hitchins feels that way, that he's down to fight any and everybody at 140, and he want to start with Brandon Lee and Arnold Barboza. So I'm cool with his thought process and how he's looking at it, but it's going to be real hard for him to get these fighters to fight him if they don't want to. And I don't see the reason why. Richardson Hitchins isn't a really big puncher. He is a pure boxer, and he's a pretty good boxer at that. Looking at the Arnold Barboza's fight versus Richardson Hitchins, Arnold Barboza, even though he only has 10 knockouts in 26 fights, he is a very good puncher. He's a good punch placement. He's a very good counter puncher. And if you leave yourself exposed, you can get hurt by Arnold Barboza. He's not no pushover, and it's the reason why he's ranked in the WBO and the WBC, and it could spell trouble for Richardson Hitchins in my book if they fall. Now him versus Brandon Lee though is a better fight for Richardson Hitchins in my book, because Brandon Lee likes loading up on punches. So it could be possible for Richardson Hitchins to outbox Brandon Lee. But other than that, Richardson Hitchins is 14-0. He has 6 knockouts. He's fought for 76 rounds. His knockout percentage is 42.86%. He's been pro for 5 years. He's 24 years old, 5'10", with a 74-inch reach, and he fights out of New York. Again, never fought anybody undefeated. Don't have really no names on his record, and he is not ranked at all. There's some footage of him sparring Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis. Well, I don't know about there's footage of Tank Davis, but there's footage of Shakur Stevenson and him fighting a few times, last year, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. So he's been fighting and sparring these dudes for a very long time. And I don't know if he's on the level, and he's right in saying that people don't really know that. And it's because we haven't seen him. So I feel what he's saying, and he's right. And I think Brandon Lee would be a great place to start, moving up the ladder and trying to get ranked. For some reason, some fighters just get put on the back burner, regardless if you are a TMT fighter, a PBC fighter, or a top-ranked fighter. You see Jerron Ennis Boots, great fighter, got almost 30 fights and no real step-up fight. And since when? He's fought Lipinets, he's fought Clayton. He's finally getting up there in the contentions, and that's, it just takes a lot. Richardson Hitchins has 14 fights, still hasn't fought anybody. Brandon Lee has 25 fights, been pro for 5 years. That's a lot of fights for 5 years, but he still hasn't fought anybody. Arnold Barboza, in my opinion, still hasn't fought anybody. It's about time that all of these names fight each other. Boxing is going to be looking up, and the end of this year and coming next year, we're going to have some fireworks, ladies and gentlemen. Always like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.